And I will now hand over the podium to Mr. Sewa Singh ji.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone, and thanks to all the panelists, esteemed leaders of their respective organizations. You all have a lot of experience. This panel today is to discuss about the challenges that the organizations are facing, common challenges basically, and develop a mechanism to resolve those challenges. Given the time that we have been allocated, we will be very crisp in what we talk about, and I request all the panelists also to state the time limit and talk about just one challenge that you think your organization or other organizations' common challenge that is being faced. One challenge, not talking too much about this, and that should be able to explain. And then after that, I will request each panel member for a potential resolution to that challenge. So I'll start with Bhumika ji from Temple of Humanity. Yeah, give this to all of us.
Hari Om, Namaste all. So I am the president of Temple of Humanity. We call it as Tohi, and we are a new temple in Weatherhill Park. And we are facing challenge where the communication among the community and vice versa, like engagement and participation from the community. So when we want to marketing or we have to tell them about our programs, so we are facing challenges like how to reach community and how they can participate, because sometimes people say oh, we have lack of time, oh, I am very busy. Everyone is busy, but then you have to have some time for, this is our dharma and we are doing it for our next generation as well. So that is a challenge we are currently facing.
Thanks, Bhumika ji, for being so succinct, and it is really a big challenge. We'll talk about the solutions about that. Now I request Dev Passi ji to tell a possible common challenge that you have been facing.
Namaskar, and thank you very much for organizing such a beautiful, wonderful function. Succession plan. Remember, I'll give two examples. Right after the independence, 1947, we had a selected prime minister. Not elected, selected, if you agree with me. Jawaharlal Nehru. And when he was going to go, and then there was a vacuum, they were thinking what to do. Who's the next prime minister? Who will come forward? So there was a vacuum. After that, they didn't know what to do. I give you a recent example now. What's happening today? Arvind Kejriwal is now, you all know, I don't need to tell you, in the jail, and he has not resigned yet. But still, there's a line of people waiting him to go, and then they want to see who becomes the next chief minister. So what I'm trying to come to is that if we do not have a proper succession plan for our coming generations, we will lose the continuity. What problem we'll have? Disastrous.
So, sorry, Dev Passi ji, I'm interrupting you. So, what I'm gathering is that you're talking about succession plan in the Hindu organizations that we have in Australia.
Yeah,
that's a real challenge. I do appreciate, So, we'll talk about the potential solutions about that problem. That's a real problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So, now can I request Rajesh ji, what challenges do you think organizations are facing?
Yeah, namaste. Basically, so it's about volunteering, recruitment and retention of volunteers. That's the aspect that I'm supposed to talk. We all know Sewa hi paramo dharmaha. So basically volunteering or Sewa, that's the beautiful journey of one's life. So according to our dharma, it is the karma yoga path. So naturally, what's in it for me? That's the first thing that anybody would think when you have to volunteer. So what is in it for me and my family? right? So basically, that is the first question. So it is difficult to identify the volunteers properly. And mainly, it could be the most challenging aspect of any organization, temples, associations, or whatever, different platforms. So some of the challenges, to cut it short, people do come and volunteer, and that is short-lived. And many of them are not self-driven. And the commitment and dedication is a real challenge. We can't see that. And the intentions could be positive and negative as well. And especially the youth volunteers as well, because of the challenges of jobs and getting married and moving on. So it is a challenge that we don't have a long-term volunteer base. So, and also many people do volunteer, and then in different platforms at one stage. It could be 3 different organizations or temples. So within 24 hours, family work or business and community work, it is a challenge. So these are the challenges that I feel that as any organization they're facing globally, in fact.
I do agree with you, Rajesh ji. Volunteering is really a big challenge that every organization faces, recruitment and retention of volunteers, and we'll talk about the possible solutions about that. Thank you. Can I request Vijaykumar Halagali ji to...
Namaste, everyone. I choose a subject, common challenge for not only Hindu organizations, for all the Indian organizations as well, but here we speak about Hindu organizations. The subject I chose was public presence and perception of Sanatana Hindu Dharma in society. Maybe this subject made me to speak now a bit difficult and easier as well, because in the previous session, Jitarth Bharadwaj has extensively explained what the Hindu community should be doing. But what is the reason? Sanatana Hindu Dharma preaches and believes in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. A few times we have heard today in this session. We consider world as one family, but when it comes to the wider community where we stand, we have become like a refugee or orphan, because nobody knows what we are doing. Why it is done so? Because we believe in Hindu Dharma, we should not boast what we are doing. And when we help someone, and we should not be boasting and telling around that I helped him or our organization helped. We also believe that what right hand gives, the left hand should not know. Because of this, we don't say to the wider community what we are doing. That's why they don't know what we are doing, and even they don't know our presence. Only recently in Melbourne, Prime Minister of Australia was presenting the community awards for the Sikh community for their exemplary work in COVID time. Do we think Hindu community didn't do it? We did a lot of job. We have many organizations distributed food hampers. Even very recently, Sewa Australia went to Lismore few times to clean up the place. But do we say that one in the wider community? No.
I do agree with you, Vijayji. Perception matters a lot, and the real perception about Hindus and Hindus organizations is a big challenge that we are facing in Australia today. And let's talk about possible solutions in the next session. Can I request Sourabh Nigam ji, what challenges do you think, what common challenge do you think Hindu organizations are facing nowadays?
Thank you, Sewa ji. Namaskar, Jai Shri Ram. I am going to talk about something that's been widely discussed today and at many fronts. It's about a common place dedicated to Hindu cultural and religious events. Lot of people have provided some solutions. A lot of people have raised that we do need it. So yes, that's the issue that we are facing here, to have a dedicated space which is customized for Hindu specific rituals and events. I know council have their own space, schools have their own space, and everybody else have their own space as well. Temples have their own space, but a dedicated space for Hindu, which anybody can go and do their rituals or celebrate their festivities be it Ugadi, Diwali, whatever it is the issue that I have.
Thanks, Saurabh-ji. That definitely is a challenge that we face because some organizations that do have their space, but many don't, and having a common space, common place would be helpful to the community. So thanks for highlighting this challenge. Now, can I request our last panelist, Subra-ji from SVT, what common challenge do you see in the organization that the organizations are facing in Australia? Please.
Sri Guruve Namaha, Sri Paramaguruve Namaha, Sri Parameshti Guruve Namaha. Thanks very much for putting up this conference. Thanks to all the organizers and participants. I represent Helensburgh Sri Venkateswara Temple. I have been an accountant, a treasurer, and now ICT director. In my job in the last 6 years, I have noticed, observed, faced quite a number of issues related to temple, and particularly today's topic I would like to talk is about safety and security. When I say safety and security, this is both for the temple infrastructure and the devotees who attend the temple. The form of threat comes in violence, discrimination, general harm, vandalism, theft, and pilferage, and quite a number of things that the temple has a huge infrastructure needs to be protected. And what we have been hearing of late adds further complexity in the security systems. That is the main threat that I think. And in providing solution, we will talk a bit more in detail what can be done to address those issues and how best we can collectively benefit from each other in resolving such problems.
Thanks, Subra-ji. This is really becoming a problem. Vandalism has been witnessed in the last, not only in the last few months, but for many years, and violence has also been there, and theft is there. So they are real challenges. Thanks to all the panelists for highlighting the common challenges that not only your organizations, but other organizations are also facing. They are the common challenges. There are many other challenges, but these are one of the few common challenges. Let's talk about potential solutions about them. So I'll start with you, Passi ji.
Solutions about the
Succession planning. What do you think?
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay,
please be brief, okay, so we have very less time.
Succession plan, yes, that's right. I discussed the problems, and now there's no point. People already know all these things. We need to find out what can we do or what should we do and how we do it. It's not easy, but there could be some options in front of us. I would say we should involve the younger people. They may not have the experience, but they would have knowledge and they would have skill. And if we do not involve the younger people, that means we are left out nowhere. Who's going to take over all these activities, what we intend to do? And in younger people, they may have there's so many abilities, debate. They may be in the various things they do from day to day. And one thing especially I want to mention here for the younger people, but they have something which older people don't have. That is the software artificial intelligence. I would ask you here, how many of you know a software called AI? Anybody put your hand up? Those who know? Yes, some people know all that, AI, and which is very, very useful for us because the younger people could be very much with it. And that means we have in India, we have this, we Indians here having so many languages. We all speak in English because we all don't understand all other languages. If we have AI software with me, I speak in any language, Hindi, and all the people can learn, can understand in their language. So at the same time, if one language can be translated into many other languages, that will be a big solution for us if we involve younger people. Therefore, beside other uses, beside other things that young people can do, this thing into me is the most important, and the younger people can take over as the time goes.
Thanks, Dev Passiji. That really is potential and possible solution. I could see the faces of these young girls sitting over there. They have a lot of aspirations. Okay, so but I would add to your suggestion, putting young minds and youth under the leadership with the guidance of a mentor. They can be real leaders of the future. So thanks for that suggestion. Thank you. Can I request about the volunteering? Volunteering was a problem that was highlighted by Rajesh ji. Recruitment and retention of volunteers. So, Subra ji, in your temple, okay, that's a huge temple in Helensburgh. You have a big force, I would say, of volunteers. So, how do you resolve or overcome this, and what solutions can you highlight or suggestions you can give to the organizations about the volunteering problem?
We conduct education and training sessions for volunteers on a regular basis. We advertise in our website that volunteers can register and express their interest in a number of areas. We don't restrict one area, whether it is cleaning, cooking, administration, or anything. So by inviting, by advertising, inviting, and also we make the session as small as possible, because Helensburgh is about 60 kilometers away from here. If somebody takes time to come all the way from, say, Sydney to Helensburgh, we would like to keep our volunteers session, say, 4 hours, so that they can do their 4 hours and go to Stanwell Park Beach or whatever, or on their way they can go to Wollongong, or they pray and they come back. So that flexibility. And also we incentivize volunteers with something special, our masala dosa, which is very famous. So volunteers get free masala dosa and our masala tea. Nobody can beat it.
That's really a good incentive. Okay, so that's a good suggestion. If you want more volunteers, then give them incentive. So not masala dosa because they get masala dosa at SVT, give them something else. So our next challenge that was highlighted by the panel members, Sourabh Nigam ji, was a common place for having a common place for Hindu activities. So you highlighted that. I will request Rajesh ji, what possible solution do you think of having a common place? We have a lot of spaces, but a common place for all the organizations.
Yeah. Again, there are many organizations with different objectives. So basically, we need to identify the common objectives of few organizations or associations or temples, then it can be workable. And again, it is the distance as well. And as Ramayaranji suggested that we did have a thought of a big center long time ago, and now it's materializing. So such a big venue, it can accommodate for many like-minded organizations. So I think collaboration, networking resources is the way to go. Putting past as past, going forward, we can talk about the solutions. We can talk about how we can come together and complement instead of competing. And that's the way to go, I think. Thanks.
Very well said. Collaboration, not competing with each other. So thank you. Thanks, Rajesh ji. Next challenge that we identified was violence, vandalism, and theft, pilferage in the temples or other organizations, mainly in temples. So that has been witnessed in number of temples in Parameta area or in the urban area and in other temples as well. So I would request you, Bhumiji, what do you think, how can this problem be resolved apart from the solutions that you know are being taken care of?
I'm very new in this sector, but recently when we started ours, we came to know that government is giving security grants. So if the organizations and temples can opt for that, we will get all the recent and modern technology where we have all those security cameras, and there is a switch which you can press, and then people will come or police will come in case of any such activity. So that is one. And second thing, actually, I would like others, because they are more senior than me, so they can tell more.
No, definitely, that's fine. So, Vijayji, what do you think, how can this problem be solved? Of vandalism, pilfering, violence, theft in temples?
As Bhumiji says, I am also, for this area, I am not experienced.
Okay, then I will request Subraji.
Sorry, because I have done some recent work in this area, I would like to expand on 2 points. The first point is increased education of the systems, communications, and first aid, things like that we have in the premises. Lots of time what happens is when the crisis happens, people, most of them are volunteers or non-employees. They come like transient. One day they are there, other days they are not there. If there is no common communication, the posters and things like that available, in case of crisis, we will not be able to inform authorities or to get help as soon as possible. So what is important is we need to have proper security policy or communication policy for every organization where devotees congregate, so that people are aware in case of something. If it is first aid, where are the first aid boxes held? If it is vandalism, what is the telephone number for local command that we have to report to? And in modern age, CCTV is not expensive. We should have access to CCTV camera. The second one is, as rightly pointed out, of late, government, both in federal as well as in state level, have started giving grants. I must say that I have put grants worth about $5 million so far, not been successful, because partly our case was not that dangerous enough for government to consider, because we are in a remote place. We are not in a very crowded place. So whether that is the reason or there are other competing priorities, there is limited money that government wants to share. So what I would like to suggest is, not every organization has got expertise and resources. We as a group, whomever is able to contribute our time and efforts, we will join together and find all the government grants, whether it is for security or for any other purpose. We support each other in putting our grants bid. The more that we put in and we get our local members' support, we will be successful. For your information, the last Commonwealth government grant for about $500,000 per temple, in New South Wales, not even one of our Hindu temple got it. In Victoria, ISKCON got the money, and the people who assisted in putting the bid, they were the ones there in the morning. They came here. They are one of our sponsors.
Okay.
So we need to approach the right people who can do our security plan. Like, if this is a place where 200 people are congregating, we need to ensure appropriate security. In case something goes wrong, what do we do? That's what the second point is about.
No, that's good, valid point. But what I'm gathering from this is the reason of being unsuccessful in getting grants is applying it just individually. Okay, as Sanjeev Goyalji highlighted in his session, that applying with another organizations might be more successful, and So maybe next time, okay, so collaboration is the key word that we are getting out from today's discussion. So collaborate with other peoples. हाथ को हाथ पकड़ने से सहारा मिलेगा. So individually we might not be able to go that far, but if we collaborate with as many organizations as possible, we can travel a lot of distance and we can do more. Another challenge that, thanks Subraji, another challenge that was highlighted was the public presence, okay, and perception. So the perception in the Australian community, in the Australian society about Hindus and Hindu organizations, that was identified. So it's not that great. Of course, we do a lot of stuff, but when the media comes, then it was talked about by other speakers, then we get negative reporting. Reasons were highlighted for that, but how can we overcome apart from what Jitarja Bhardwaji or others have highlighted?
One thing is, again, the word is like collaborating and collective work, like all together, Hindu organizations. For example, Clean Up Australia Day, almost every organization does. And Sewa Australia does in maybe 7-8 places in Sydney. We Veer Shaiva Samaja, we do it. And many temples do it, Clean Up Australia Day. We all do individually, but if we say, like Clean Up Australia Day, correct, one name, like Australia Swachhata Abhiyan, we are copying from India. But below that, we can say that Veerashaiva Samaja, Sewa Australia, or different temple. But one word, Australia Swachhata Abhiyan, done by Hindu organizations. It will highlight, and we are not losing our identity because our name is below, like organized by this organization. That's one thing. The other one is, like many organizations provide food for the needy. One example is Karma Kitchen. Many temples do it. But that also, if we give in one common name, like my suggestion, like just a suggestion, like Annapurna Annadanam by this temple, because that word is there, that is done by Hindu organizations. And the other one is like media presence, already extensively spoken in the previous session, but as it was highlighted, we don't have an authorized spokesperson for Hinduism or Hindu organizations. We must have authoritative and authorized. Only they should speak. As Jitarji said, they should be trained what to say, what not to say. So that's another thing. These are the collective efforts and the visibility in the common or the Australian wider community will give us a place to recognize ourselves. Still, we can maintain our identity as well because there are so many organizations, so many temples. We thrive, we're saying that unity in diversity. Still, we can do that on here, but under one common name or a flag. That's my suggestion.
Thank you. I do agree with you. Having one common name like Annapurna Annadanam or Australian Swachhata Abhiyan, that will definitely create a positive image and a big perception shift for the Australian society. And I'll leave it to the bigger organizations to start implementing that if possible, bringing together other organizations with them and saying Swachhata Abhiyan done by Hindu organizations as highlighted by almost everyone and witnessed by everyone. We do a lot of stuff. Okay, during COVID also, we provided not only food, we provided shelter also, we provided monetary assistance, we provided visa assistance. We did a lot of stuff, but we didn't get that coverage that we deserved. And without naming anyone, there are some organizations who didn't do as much as we Hindu organizations did, but they got a lot of media coverage. So when we do it as one unit, highlighting Hindus, then possibly the image will change. There will be a perception shift. And one solution I would like to suggest to everyone present here, there are awards given by the councils, by state governments, by federal governments. There is Australian of the Year award. When somebody else gets it, we start complaining, oh, he got it, so and so person got it. Instead of criticizing that person, shouldn't we introspect? Have we nominated anyone from us? Or if anyone was nominated, have we supported that nomination? We can get those awards in hordes. I tell you, okay, trust me, start nominating your people. Give them due honor, they deserve it. Whether that's Karma Kitchen, whether that's BAPS Temple, so many, Sewa Australia, so many organizations, VHP does so many things. Appreciate that. As I think Jitarji said, in your Facebook posts, you attend those events. At least on your profile, put pictures. I've been to that event and that was conducted or coordinated so well. So that way also the perception will change, because in your friends list, it's not only Indians, there are other communities also. So that's one solution that I would suggest. Start doing that from today itself. With the conclusion of this 7th National Hindu Conference, all of you are on Facebook, post pictures. Okay, hashtag, I still don't know whether there is a hashtag, but we might create one. Okay. Okay.
Hashtag 7ANHC.
Okay. ANHC, Australian National Hindu Conference. 7, yeah. Number 7. And the last challenge was about reaching out to community. That's a real challenge, because many in community don't know what's happening. Whether that's start of a school, that's a very good initiative and long deserving basically. We needed it for a long time. But not everybody knows about that initiative. So sending the information to the community, disseminating that information, how can we overcome that? Bhumiji, if you can share some suggestions, just 1 minute, if possible.
Sure. Actually, we are facing the same now because we are new. So what we are thinking is because there are a lot of barriers, and sometimes changing people is very difficult, their perception, and it's difficult to let them know that, these are the activities happening and all, because sometimes they are not on Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp. So we have to reach with the traditional ways as well, like sending flyers or talking to them and reaching them on phone or some other ways other than the digital. So I'm talking about digital exclusion. Everyone talk about digital inclusion, like everywhere on Facebook and all, but there should be traditional ways as well, because people are hidden. There are people, but we are not reaching them. So that is one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bhumiji. That's a valid suggestion. I would also like to suggest one thing. See, text messages, emails, they are impersonal unless they are sent after a phone call. Reach out to the people you know, at least to the people you know, make a phone call. Even if it's a brief phone call that we are doing so-and-so event, I'm sending you an invitation, please come over. That will be more impactful than just sending a text message, please come. And that, even that text message or the WhatsApp message, it says forwarded. Make some effort, personalize it. If you want more and more people to attend, this is for everyone. That's more impactful. So just summarizing this session.
Yeah. Just one suggestion, Sewa Singh was telling about the Facebook. Post the photos. Please write where you are, what is the occasion. Because many people go to India, visit many beautiful temples and beautiful places. I want to go there, but I don't know where they were. Like for example, today's conference, if you have taken photos, put it on our Facebook, but you say that I am attending 7th Australian National Hindu Conference. At least they will know what is happening. Just you put the photos, nobody knows what is happening. Please put your name, of course your Facebook name is there, but place and the occasion. Please do that.
Thank you, Vijayji. So just to summarize, the the challenges that have been identified by the panelists, common challenges. One was succession plan, and that's a real challenge because there have been leaders who are leading their organizations for many, many years, and to have a purposeful and clear succession plan is very important. And a suggestion given by him, getting more and more youth into leadership positions under the mentorship of senior leaders will create future leaders. So that's a very good suggestion coming forward from you. Thank you, Dev Passi ji.
Can I add one little thing?
Yeah, sure.
I forgot what I was
कोई बात नहीं. Another one was about violence, vandalism, and theft. So for that, the suggestion was basically creating awareness about who to report, how to report, and when to report. Plus, I would say one more thing, collaborating in that aspect as well. Talking to other organizations and telling them what happened to you and making them aware such things, same things can happen to them also. Be prepared for that, okay? And
I can say that if you want now.
okay.
Okay, just quickly. No, you could understand me. And people of my age, and they easily forget. So because I'm dealing with the seniors, so I'm senior myself. I don't want to reveal my age, but people already know I'm 84. And therefore, it's very, very important for the people, because we all come from Indian culture where one person is more important than the other. The position is very, very important. And we just try to follow that person. We want to go in because we want to have him influence us, get things done in a corrupted way. But things are very, very different here. We should not follow those patterns. We should do in a modern way, involving youngsters, which can be done in more effective and a very professional way. Thank you.
Thank you, Dev Passi ji. Another challenge was about recruitment and retention of volunteers. That's faced by many organizations that are small and that are new. There are some organizations who have excellent volunteer base, and we can definitely have solutions from them. They are not as a panel member, but definitely that can be shared. One thing was highlighted, incentivizing that can work, but not necessarily that will work, because that could be inducement in a way, okay, and that might not have them for long term, but having a purpose for the volunteers will be a big boost for them, why they should be a volunteer. And I believe that should start from home. हमें अपने घर से ही शुरू करना पड़ेगा. जब तक हम अपने हाथ गंदे नहीं करेंगे, तब तक दूसरों के हाथ गंदे नहीं करवा सकते हम. If our kids are not volunteers, we cannot expect other kids to be volunteers. So we have to start from home. And that, I believe, is one of the ways we can increase the volunteer base. Another challenge that was highlighted was having one place for doing functions, doing events. And as highlighted by Rajesh ji, the potential solution for that is identifying the common objectives. Why do we need? For what purpose do we need? There are certain organizations who are coming up with some space, but other than that, having a common objective will help in having a common place. That's a possibility. Thanks for highlighting that. And last was basically recruitment, reaching out to the community, and that we touched upon in detail. So, yeah, public perception, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. So thanks a lot to the panel members. And if there are any more challenges that are not touched upon here at the panel discussion, please write them down to Ramaratnam ji, and HOTA team will get back to you. One thing I wanted to say, for reaching out to community and other problems, HOTA, I think, is the right platform as a solution, because that reaches out to wider community by emails and by text messages. So that's another solution in reaching out to communities. Those who are not part of HOTA, they can be in touch with Ramaratnam ji. And with this, we conclude this discussion, and we thank VHP team, Ramaratnam ji, Subramanyam ji, Akila ji, and especially Swami Vigyanand ji for coming all the way for this conference. And under your leadership, this conference is going great. Thanks for coming, and thanks to everyone who is still here. Another thing I wanted to highlight, okay? If we want to do something for the community, we need to be there wholeheartedly. We cannot be, mera session khatam ho gaya and I'm leaving because I'm busy. All are busy here. People are here, they come from interstate. Be here for a whole day at least. So that's my request. If you want to bring real change, bring it within yourself. एक दिन तो निकाल सकते हो ना अपने हिंदू धर्म के लिए, अपने बच्चों के लिए. So with this, I thank again and conclude the session. Thanks a lot.